This is our last lesson of this 8-week calm abiding meditation course, which you have very diligently attended to, and we have covered some of the very important fundamentals of meditation techniques known as foundation of full mindfulness. Learning to calm your five senses, mainly the body, by sitting in a correct posture, not just sitting passively, but staying in the posture, but cognitively and emotionally and intellectually you are engaged in the posture and maintaining of the posture, so as to reconstitute your physical body, that certain things you do with your body does positively or negatively or neutrally influence your mind. When we are able to allow the mind to stress the body to do, body's cooperation to the mind attracts the harmony between mind and body. And this itself is a great power that we usually don't have, to have the mind telling the body and the senses to be tame and not be lured or be agitated by the sightings and hearings. For they are not quite what they appear when you really examine carefully. When you calm and tame, your senses are much wise and sensible. Wonder why we have word sensible, that your senses are able to function. And so we become our meditation becomes very, very powerful behavioral therapy. You change your behaviors, physical behavior and verbal behavior. No change happens in these two areas unless the change occurs in the mind. And that's what happens during the meditation. Because your change of thoughts and speech or words or deeds comes largely because of the mindfulness of feeling, You are no longer a bottle of feeling. You are actually a manufacturer of feeling. Previously you didn't think you had these things happen to me, but now you can create them, uncreate them, and interrupt the creations and cancel the creations. and exhume the past creations and get rid of them. Every exhalation you get rid of the feeling or hurt or upset or despair or whatever. You don't own them anymore. That was when you were not calm or intelligible. You will see the clarity of mind. You become mindful of mind and mindful of your thought, that everything is just a thought. How long does it take to change that? And that's what duration of suffering. The duration of suffering is not the suffering. It's how long it takes us to change our thought about it. So when you're meditating, you become mindful of the thought. You can suspend any thought as soon as you have this awareness, this sighting, this insight. How sufferings are caused by ignorance. There are no sufferings, rather than this wrong view, this fixated wrong view. We just have to drop the views, change the opinions. If you really like it, you can always come back to it. Just try another opinions or view, just in case you need a little break. If you have few tries, you can choose which works best. Well, you might feel liberated after you could alternate your views about someone or something. So you're suffering from bad opinion, not from things. So mindfulness of thought is your own thought is changeable. So our attachment to views and opinions makes us to make those thoughts come back again and again. We're regurgitating these wrong views, opinions. And we suffer from those bad opinions, bad perceptions. We don't realize that we could overhaul them and change them. In meditation, when you're breathing in and out, and you see the thoughts, when you see what you're doing, and so you become more mindful of the focus your attention, but once you become more attentive to what you're doing, you become very aware of the other thoughts. So this is called mindfulness of thought, yeah? Mindfulness body, mindful of language, mindful of feelings. We have developed mindfulness of our thought. When you develop mindful of thought, then you realize mindfulness of object, the things that you thought about or felt about. They are not, the objects are entirely a reflection of our mind, of our own thought. Our thinking of it has made them to appear that way. And until we change that label, until we undesignate it, until we peel it off, it's going to the thing will stick there because that's what you designated. If we have bad thought, we see bad objects. And if we have good thought, we can take back the bad thoughts. As soon as you withdraw that thought, that opinion, drop it in the bin, trash bin, you know. You have a trash bin of thoughts at home. You should have one now. So that's what you're doing. You are doing meditation. You're staying very present in order to cognitively, therapeutically work with you. You can see that meditation is a very powerful prevention of suffering and hurt and anguish and anger and resentment, despair, and depression. So it is not just a hobby thing. It's a daily well-being. And so doing, you can see that you're a much happier person because you know how to create causes of happiness. And you don't have a lot of unhappiness because you're not creating them, because you usually don't create, you don't have the product unless you produce them. And we are the creator, according to this meditation philosophy.